Say this, and watch the narcissist squirm like a worm on hot pavement. There's a certain kind of person out there. And no, they're not strong, they're not brave, and they're definitely not honest. But they want you to think they are. That's their whole act. They puff up their chest, throw around fancy words, and act like they've got life all figured out. But under all that fake confidence, it's just a scared little bully doing everything they can to keep you from seeing the truth. Here's what nobody really tells you. This narcissist, this control freak dressed up in fake charm and confidence, they're scared out of their mind of one thing, being seen for who they really are. Want to hit them where it actually hurts? You don't have to scream. You don't have to argue. Just say one thing, one simple sentence, that cuts through their whole act like a knife. And when you do, oh, they'll feel it, because in that moment, you're the one holding up the mirror. See, narcissists don't run on love or logic. They run on control, on silence, on you second-guessing yourself. That's the fuel that keeps their little game going. Take it away. They've got nothing. They're stuck. They're not trying to build a relationship with you. They're putting on a puppet show, and guess what? You're the puppet. If you don't see through their game, you'll keep showing up with good intentions while they're busy playing dirty. They don't just twist the truth to trick you, they lie to themselves too. That's the messed up part. They spin this whole make-believe world where they're always the hero, always the victim, always right. And somehow, every mess they cause, it's on you. And if you're not careful, you'll get pulled into that world. You'll find yourself fighting battles that aren't yours, apologizing for things you didn't do, constantly explaining yourself like you're on trial. That's how they trap you. So stick with me, because in just a second, I'm going to tell you the exact words that will tear their little act to pieces. And once you say it, believe me, they'll never see you the same way again. Once you're in their world, the game starts. And yeah, it's a game. A messed up one. You don't even notice it at first. That's what makes it so dangerous. They don't show up waving red flags or setting off alarms. That'd be too obvious. Instead, they come in smooth, polished, nice, maybe even a little too charming. It feels like a warm welcome, compliments, fake empathy, the kind of attention that pulls you in instead of pushing you away. They watch you, like a hawk, quiet, calculating, taking mental notes. They zero in on your soft spots, your dreams, your fears, your pain. They reflect it all back to you, like they really get it. Like they really get you, and for a moment, it feels like someone finally sees you. But what they're actually doing, they're programming you. Bit by bit, they weave themselves into your life so tightly, you can't tell where they end and you begin. And once they've got you wrapped up in their web, that's when things start to shift. Not all at once, just a few cracks in the mask. A jab here, a passive-aggressive comment there. Suddenly, you're second-guessing yourself, wondering how someone who once made you feel special now has you scared to speak up or even breathe wrong. That's not love. That's not connection. That's control. And here's the dark part. They don't just want to control what you do. They want inside your head. They want to rewrite your reality. Make you question what you saw, what you felt, what you know deep down is real. Gaslighting isn't just some trendy word. It's their go-to move. 1 minute they're warm. The next, cold as ice. They twist your words, flip the script, and when you finally push back, suddenly, you're the problem. You're overreacting. You're too sensitive. That confusion you feel, that doubt creeping in, that's their plan. Because if you stop trusting yourself, you're easier to control, easier to shape, easier to break. But here's the thing they never see coming. You wake up, you start to notice the pattern. You call it what it is. You look them straight in the eye and say, I know exactly what this is. And when that moment hits, when you shine a light on everything they've been trying to hide, they feel it. Their grip loosens. The confidence cracks. Because their whole act, it only works if you stay confused and quiet. Take that away and they panic. They lash out. They scramble. They'll say anything to suck you back into their fog. But the truth is, they're nothing without control. They need your reactions, your attention. Without it, their whole game falls apart. And someone who sees it for what it is, who stays grounded, who doesn't flinch when the narcissist starts to unravel. That's their worst nightmare. Someone who won't play the game, won't chase, someone who's done being the puppet. Let's make one thing crystal clear, just seeing a narcissist for what they are isn't enough. You could know every trick in their book, spot every red flag from a mile away, even write a whole essay breaking down their behavior, but if you don't act on that knowledge, you're still caught in their web, still playing their game, still letting them call the shots. And believe me, they know that. They're counting on it, because knowing without doing, that's just quiet permission. Leave the door open even a little, and they'll slip right back in, changing shape, turning on the charm, twisting your guilt, and poking at old wounds until you forget what you were so sure of. That's why clarity matters. Not just seeing them, but believing what you see. No more excuses. No more they might change. No more spirals, wondering if you're the problem. You've got to burn the whole illusion down and stand in the ashes like you mean it. This isn't someone who's confused or just needs love to heal. This is someone running a con on purpose, and they'll keep running it as long as it works. So what do? You stop explaining. You stop defending. You stop reacting. You draw the damn line. Because the second you stop needing their approval, the moment their mind games stop rattling you, when their praise or criticism rolls off you like water off steel, that's when the power shifts. That's when they realize, in full-blown panic, that they can't reach you anymore. And that moment, it shakes them. They'll come at you with everything. The sweet talk, the fury, the apologies, the guilt trips, the promises, the blame. But if you stay grounded, if you don't budge, don't flinch, don't second guess, they start to fall apart. Not you. And here's the sharp part. You don't need a dramatic speech. You don't have to prove your point. You don't owe them understanding. All it takes is one line. I see exactly what you're doing, and I'm not playing. That's it. Game over. That's the moment everything flips. That one line. It's the pin pulled from the grenade. The spell breaker. It rips the mask clean off their face. Because when you say it, you're telling them loud and clear, you see through them. You're out. You're done playing. And when you stop playing, they lose. All the manipulative conversations, the fake arguments designed to keep you guessing, the emotional chaos that left you walking on eggshells, none of it works without your reaction. The second you stop engaging, their whole script falls apart. The lights go out, the act ends, and the narcissist, left standing in silence with no audience, no spotlight, no control. Just fear. Look a narcissist in the eye and calmly say, I see exactly what you're doing, and it's like flipping on the light in a room full of cockroaches. They scatter, not because you yelled, not because you fought, but because you saw them, clearly, with no illusions, no fog. And once you step out of that fog, the whole game ends. Their power was never real, it was an illusion. A house of mirrors built on confusion and silence. And when you cut through it with one steady sentence, I see what you're doing, and I'm not playing, you shatter that illusion. You don't just call them out. You take everything they've built and knock it flat. That one sentence, it's dangerous to them, devastating even, because it shows the truth they've been hiding from their whole life. They're not strong. They're not in control. They're just con artists playing pretend. And now, you've seen behind the curtain. That wrecks them. Because once you say it, and mean it, you stop giving them what they need. No more reactions. No more explaining. No more defending. And that's silence. That's like cutting off their air. They'll panic. They'll pull every trick in the book. They'll play the victim. Asterisk, why are you being so cruel? Asterisk, they'll gaslight. Asterisk, What are you even talking about? Asterisk. They'll rage. Asterisk, you're insane. You've changed. Asterisk. But none of it matters unless you bite. That's the trap. Your urge to explain, to defend, to be understood. Because the moment you start justifying yourself, the moment you try to make them see your side, you hand the power back. And they'll rewrite the whole story again, where they're the poor misunderstood hero and you're the one losing it. But if you hold steady, if you don't blink, don't budge, don't take the bait, they feel it. That's when the fear kicks in. A narcissist without control is like a shark pulled from the water. They can't survive without someone to feed on. Their identity isn't built on truth. It's built on manipulation, deflection, and fantasy. They lie so, well, they believe it themselves. In their world, they're always right, always the victim, never the problem. That's why accountability is their nightmare. Because they can't talk their way out of it, can't twist it, can't run from it. It shines a light they can't dim, shows cracks they can't cover, and forces them to face the truth they avoid at all costs. They're not who they pretend to be, and deep down they know it. That's the thing that haunts them. That's why they run. That's why they keep performing. Because the second someone sees the truth, they're exposed. So when you don't react, when you don't explain, when you don't try to fix it, when you don't need them to believe your truth, you become the threat they never saw coming. Because now they know it's over. And worse, you know it too. That truth, that cuts deeper than anything else. You were the one who saw them, the one who stood up, the one who walked away and never looked back. A narcissist walks through life with one belief. Asterisk, I'll never be held accountable. Asterisk. And honestly, why wouldn't they believe that? They've spent years, maybe decades, perfecting their escape routes. Every fight, every betrayal, every screw-up gets twisted into some scene where they're the poor victim and you're the crazy one. Bring up something they did, suddenly you're the problem. You're too emotional, too sensitive, too much. Just like that, the conversation flips. They'll cry. They'll guilt trip. They'll throw your past mistakes in your face. Anything to shift the focus away from themselves. And most people, they fold. They walk away just to keep the peace. They say asterisk, forget it. It's not worth it. Asterisk. And the narcissist wins again. But then something shifts. You don't fold. You don't run. You don't flinch. You look them in the eye and say, I'm holding you accountable. That's it. No emotion. No big speech. Just the truth, straight and sharp. And when you say that, when you finally stand your ground, they crack.